the off season. That means off-season chatter, off-season conversation, off-season talk. And for the University of Georgia program, Georgia fans, Georgia alums, Georgia media, there's a lot of talk, conversation, chatter going on at Georgia. And the chatter is Bulldogs, the new standard in college football. Kirby Smart has surpassed Nick Saban as the best coach in college football, and it ain't even close. That's the conversation happening right now. And for me, and I understand people are saying, Georgia the new gold standard, Georgia the new measuring stick in the league in today's sport. I'll start by saying this. Kirby Smart has earned everything he has got. Absolutely. Two-time defending national champion. He deserves that. Earned it. Got it fair and square. Absolutely. Georgia, two-time defending national champions as a program. Earned it. Got it. Hey, they deserve that. Taking nothing away from them from that end, from that regard. But here's my thought. I will say Georgia is the new big, bad challenger in terms of giving Alabama that competition every single year. I will say that. That is 100% accurate. But to say Georgia is the standard of today, to say Georgia's the standard of college football now, to be the standard, don't you have to win more than one time in the head-to-head against the team, the individual that you're taking the standard from? I mean, that's just me. I mean, to achieve the standard, to be that guy now, don't you have to defeat the person that was the guy several times or at least more than once? I mean, that's how I feel because, Kirby Smart is 1-4 against Coach Saban, head-to-head 1-4. Lost in the 2017-2018 national championship game off the 17 season, lost in the 2018 SEC championship game, lost in the 2020 regular season game where Mac Jones put 41 points on his head, and then lost in the 2021 SEC championship game. Yes, finally came through and won in the 2022 national championship game off the 2021 season. But even with that, Jamison Williams got hurt in that game. If there's no injury to Jamison Williams, that game could have gone 100% differently. And I know a lot of people look at the final score of that game. They go 33-18 Georgia, but that game wasn't a blowout. There were two instances in that game where Alabama had the lead. At halftime, Bama was up 9-6. In the fourth quarter, Bama was up 18-13. And then when Bryce Young had the ball last, driving down the field, Kirby Smart was holding his breath for dear life, wondering, God, Nines got the ball one more time. You know how magical that kid is. Unfortunately there, Bryce threw the interception, and Kirby Smart had a breath of fresh air there. If Kirby Smart loses that game, you have a lot of anxiety in Georgia because people are going, well, how long, Kirby, is it going to take for you to beat this guy? Kirby's only won once. He's only won once in 4 times against Coach Saban. Coach Saban is 4-1 against Kirby Smart. So before we start throwing this new standard talk around, you got to win more than one time against Coach Saban. And then on top of that also, think of this. If you are the standard in college football, that would also mean you have a stranglehold, a vice grip, if you will, on your state in recruiting. If Georgia's the standard, why is Justice Haynes the number one running back in the 2022 recruiting cycle, or 2023 recruiting cycle, the Georgia legacy right there out of Buford High School in Georgia? His father, Vernon Haynes, who played for the Georgia Bulldogs. So why, if you're the standard, right, why is the son of a Georgia legend not in Georgia? He's at Tuscaloosa. Why is that? If you're the standard, why is Caleb Downs the number one safety in this 2023 class from Mill Creek High School right there in Georgia, right there in your backyard? Why is he in Tuscaloosa? If Georgia's the standard why is Caleb Downs in Tuscaloosa? If you're the Standard, why is Dylan Larnigan, who played quarterback at Brookwood High School in Georgia, 4-star, why is he in Tuscaloosa, not Georgia? If Georgia's the Standard, then why did this offensive lineman, Mason Short, who's from Georgia, just recently commit to the Crimson Tide? If you are the Standard, right, then why are these kids in your state not committing to you? That's just all I'm going to say. If you are the Standard, then you hold the vice grip of your state. That's all I'm saying. Kirby Smart, outstanding coach, not taking that away from him. Kirby Smart, outstanding recruiter, not taking it away from him. Kirby Smart, 2-time defending national champion, not taking it away from him. But before we start throwing the word Standard around, you got to beat Nick Saban more than one time. Now, if Alabama and Georgia face off in an SEC championship this upcoming season and Georgia gets the win, we can talk about it then. If Alabama and Georgia face off in a national championship game this time around and Kirby gets the victory, we can talk about it then. But right now, he's only won one time against Coach Saban. Only one. Only one. So we can't throw the word Standard around for only one. And I'm going to say this. Probably the worst thing that's happened to Georgia is when you had David Pollock, Georgia alum, right there on the platform with Coach Saban at the national championship game this past year, and Pollock basically says, look, son, you ain't the king no more. It's Kirby in Georgia now. And Kirby side-eyes David Pollock. Since that moment, Saban has let go of 2 coordinators before their contracts were even up, brought in 2 new guys that have infused energy, that have infused toughness, that have infused a lot. Saban has brought in other names to this coaching staff that are bringing in energy, toughness, discipline, focus since the David Pollock statement. Nick Saban has also brought in a ton of guys in this freshman class that are dogs and they are ready to get after it and play. So this is going to be very interesting. I want to see Alabama-Georgia SEC championship, Alabama-Georgia national championship to really set this thing, once and for all here, because the Georgia people talking. We are the Standard. Like, Kirby surpassed Saban. Kirby's 1-4 against Saban. Saban is 4-1 against Kirby. So we will see. Moving forward, we shall see. So this season, going to be a good one. Something for the Alabama Nation to chew on. But if I know one thing about Coach Saban, he has not let 3 years in a row go by without having that national championship in Tuscaloosa. That track record is good right now, and he intends to keep that track record as is.